All right. Now I want you to take a look at this video right here, because it's very interesting. Let's now.
Carjacker has tried to carjack a car, and a bunch of good Samaritans have stepped in to try to stop him. And you are going to see him try to steal a different car that one of the good Samaritans got out of. We have audio. Let's listen in.
Pop, 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 pop. Trying to steal the truck. In my brain, this man is just backed up to die. He dead. Nope.
Oh my God.
In an absolute tragedy, our good Samaritan did not survive his injuries from this. You can see our murderer then tried to drive off. Police did catch him, and he is facing murder charges for what happened here. You know, Stephanie, we say this all the time, that if you're gonna step into a third-party encounter, you simply have to recognize that there's a non-zero risk to you and yours, and so you wanna do this calculus ahead of time. Of course, because I think if this man could go back and do it all over again, I don't think he would have got involved.
Yeah, you'd have to be about certain that he wouldn't. And even in a fully justified self-defense encounter, it's still an awful lot like taking everything that you have and own and everyone that you care about and kind of putting them in the middle of the table and just rolling the dice to see what happens. The system can be kind of a scary and difficult.
Let's start this. So apparently, he could have just stayed in his car and not even intervene and locked all of his doors, nothing would happen. He could have stayed in his car, not intervened, locked all of his doors, nothing would happen. Stayed in his car, not intervened, drove off, nothing would happen. Or if he decided to get out of his car, take his keys. Don't leave your keys. And you're out your car, and you already know this is some kind of carjacking situation. Anyway, but if you ain't get your keys, don't leave your keys. If you ain't get your car, don't leave your keys. And the number one thing that I say to me, the number one thing he could have did, regardless of everything that he did, was just let the guy take the truck, dude. It's a company truck. You didn't kill a man for a company truck. And then I put myself in that situation. It's like, I'm not saying I'm gonna go out jacking to somebody, but if this man just fired 4 shots at me and he missed, and I'm gonna have to kill this. I don't see how I'm gonna not have to run this dude over. I don't understand. And then that's what comes next. You fucker. I mean, that what comes next. I mean, you gonna kill me for over this company truck? All right, you got it. I'm gonna back up. You get me in this. I'm not saying that's what I would do. Cause that's wrong. Yeah, but yeah, they're jacking somebody's company truck is wrong too, and going out on a, but it wasn't a jack. It wasn't a jack. He was already outside the car. A jack is you physically removing somebody from a car, so it wasn't that. He was just taking He was just taking the company truck because you were outside of the vehicle. Yeah. And to kill someone over that. And I heard, and I've been looking at the comments. I found one in there that says, what it say? It says, stealing a vehicle is stealing a lethal weapon. Sure. But if you stay in the middle of the street,
that we use deadly force only to defend life.
And if you're not doing that, at some point, you become the one that is breaking the law. You may have your own justifications for that in your own mind, the same way that a criminal may be able to come up with justifications for why they're taking something. You have to be really careful that you don't justify yourself into what you're trying to defend against, which is, I applaud his heart here for wanting to step out and help people, that this guy was trying to take advantage of people and steal from people. I admire that. I love people that want to care for and protect their fellow man. But not only is he taking everything that he loves and cares about and put it on the table and rolling the dice by introducing a gun when he was really not justified to do so, he's really stacking things not in his favor.
He's also not very technically proficient. Now, it's not really an issue in this instance, but the fact of the matter is that on his first shots, car doors generally aren't covered. They're not stopping bullets as a general rule. You can see the fact, I don't think he even broke the window. I think he's shooting through the door frame. And here, I know a lot of times people say, well, your average gunfight, you aren't even using the sights. Well, this guy's not using the sights, and he's missing.
So don't intervene. If you don't have to intervene. The whole point was him intervening.
Removing somebody from a car by force and a car theft, right? So
let's remind what he just said.
Important to consider. And of course, there's a significant difference here between an actual carjacking, that's removing somebody from a car by force, and a car theft, right? So a car theft is
getting into somebody's car and stealing their property, whereas a carjacking is I'm removing somebody by force from their vehicle. That force makes it a forcible felony and changes things up significantly. Now, I'm going to say, again, this man, I feel terrible for what happened to him here. But what we see here is we stop it next, is that he is facing right now a car theft. This guy is getting into his car, not somebody else's car. It's unoccupied. And of course, it looks to me like his flashers and lights are still on. There's probably a decent chance here that he's left the keys in it and left it running. And it's not even his truck. I mean, at the end of the day, man, all this crazy stuff happened and a dude stole my truck. And he's got a gun out and pointing a gun at this guy. And listen, I know people are tired of crime, and I am too. And when we're talking about the carjacking, that they were stopping him forcibly removing somebody from their vehicle, that's something that you use deadly force to stop. But a pure crime of taking property like this, you put yourself at real risk and stuff. We've seen enough cases as expert witnesses that this kind of stuff doesn't go well for people sometimes.
No, it really doesn't. And even in the case of those carjackings, you're still not protecting and defending the property. You're protecting and defending the person that is in the car if you have to use deadly force. So even in a carjacking, we're not really worried about the property or the car. Now, would he have a right to stop him from taking his car here using some sort of physical force and grabbing him and trying to prevent this theft? Of course. And again, whether or not you want to engage in some sort of hand.
Basically what they're saying is, if he had survived and if it had went his way, he actually killed the guy getting in the truck, he would have been facing some serious charges. But that's what they're not saying. I mean, they kind of say it.
Trying to prevent this theft, of course. And again, whether or not you want to engage in some sort of hands-on encounter over a car, you would have to, again, decide that ahead of time. But that would be fully legally justified at this point. I'm really struggling to find a good justification for having a gun pointed at someone that's just trying to get in your car and drive away.
This is absolutely test case perfect space for OC spray. This, even before he opens the door, moves towards your car. You know he's tried to carjack somebody else's car. You bless that dude with the hot sauce. Trust me, he will start screaming and hollering about how much it hurts, and he will stop trying to steal your car. And then you call the cops and you say, this guy, this is what we had. And now you don't end up in those situations. So friends, I can't say it enough. This is where those intermediate force tools are so important. Now, I mean, do I get why he would have the gun out because of what happened earlier? Yes, but he's already shot once at the guy. And now look at him. I really feel like this man, as well-intentioned as he is, and I'm all for the right to keep and bear arms, 100%. I'm not a butter. I don't have any of that stuff. But listen, he's clearly not very skilled with the gun, and he's not thinking through, because is this guy a threat to life right now? He's not. I'm just shooting him because he's gotten in my truck, and I just don't think that's a wise idea. Some people are going to say, well, wait a minute, John, he should be able to use deadly force. But Stephanie, this is literally 1,200 years of Western common law that we use deadly force only to defend life.
And if you're not doing that, at some point, you become the one that is breaking the law. You may have your own justifications for that in your own mind, the same way that a criminal may be able to come up with justifications for why they're taking something. You have to be really careful that you don't justify yourself into what you're trying to defend against, which is, I mean, I applaud his heart here for wanting to step out and help people, that he, this guy was trying to take advantage of people and steal from people. I admire that. I love people that want to care for and protect their fellow man. But not only is he taking everything that he loves and cares about and put it on the table and rolling the dice by introducing a gun when he was really not justified to do so, he's really stacking things not in his favor.
He's also not very technically proficient. Now, that's not really in this instance, but the fact of the matter is that on his first shots,
point blank range,
aren't cover. They're not
4
stopping
times.
bullets as a general
Pop,
rule. You
pop,
can see the fact, I don't
pop.
think he even broke the window. I think
That's
he's shooting
like-
through the door frame.
Like
And
guy was
here,
on the
you know, a
other
lot of
guy's
times people say,
side.
well,
It's
you know,
like this dumbass.
your average gunfight,
nigga
you aren't even
here
using the
can't
sights. Well, this
even
guy's
hold
not
the
using the
gun.
sights, and he's
Should've
missing.
never had a gun.
And listen,
Someone
if you
like
have
this.
justification to shoot, we see
You
this
know
all
what
the
I
time in
see?
the
I
comment
see
section stuff, that
someone
people are like,
who
well,
has a
you know, we're just
gun, never trained with it, but couldn't wait for a situation to use it. Don't know how to use it, but feel so powerful with it, but don't know how to use it. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna end your life. I'm gonna catch a body right now, cause I'm that guy. Apparently you're not.